The next thing I want to talk about is be approachable. Who can give me an idea of what an approachable person is in a market? Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, somebody that's standing up. What else? Mm-hmm. What if I'm talking to other people? Like if I'm doing the stall with one of my, team members, what if we're just talking? Is that somebody you want to walk up to? No. So,
on the phone.
Oh,
Sit there on their phone.
on the phone is the best. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Do you think sort of standing out the front of the store is better if you haven't got any customer service?
Yeah, I actually do that. I actually make an excuse. I kind of start straightening, but not quite with my back towards it, but I start, because being outdoors, a lot of things get shuffled in the wind and things, so I'll find excuses to go out front and kind of draw people in. I'll say, well, I'll give you examples later, but one of the things that I do is to draw people in, I'll say, did you get to try a free sample yet? And usually they can't understand my accent. So they'll go, what? And I'll say, come try a free sample. I'm giving away free samples today. And they're like, oh, okay. Very rarely do people say no. If you are smiling and happy, excited, which I can tell from your stories and all of your experiences that you are. You love the product. So just let that shine through. Be yourself. Be happy. Be approachable. And people will come.
So can I ask, what do you give away?
What do I give away? No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Like a little hand cream in a little container or...
Yep, I do have those samples. I don't give those away at markets only because I want to give away something that is unique to our company. So what I do is I do washerettes.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this is about how fancy my signs get. Like, I printed that off my computer. People don't care. People just see free samples and they dig right in. But what I do, and I can pass this around, is I just put 2 teaspoons full, like literal teaspoons of washerettes, and I put it in these bags. You can actually smell it. When this is open and full of washerettes, people clear back to where Sherah is, they can smell it. So that draws people into, they say, what does that smell? True story. People say that. They say, what is that? I smell it's my washerettes. And they go, your what? My washerettes. Come, I'll tell you about it. So that draws them in closer as well. 1 cent. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I have like a lot of stock sitting there. I'll have 3 perfectly pomegranates, so I'll make perfectly pomegranate because that's what sells well, and that's what I have extra. So I usually do 2 different samples. I usually do perfectly pomegranate and black raspberry vanilla. I have done sun-kissed citrus in the past, but that doesn't seem to excite people as much as the pomegranate.
What about coconut lemongrass? Because that's like my favorite.
Whatever your favorite is, I will tell you.
Safety clean.
Yeah, whatever your favorite is, go with that because people will feel your passion for that product and you'll sell. Do you ever find when you're doing a party that people will buy what you like?
Yeah.
So do samples of what you like.
Sure, that is true.
Do samples of what you like. Yeah.
Said it.
Because people say, yeah, exactly. And you'll notice, or when one person says, oh, I love this, you guys smell this perfectly pomegranate, and then all of a sudden you see like 3-4 different orders for that. So whatever your favorite is, do that. Like I said, I just do whatever I have excess stock. But
how much did you say you put in?
2 teaspoons. And that gets you anywhere between 28 and 31 samples. I'm not sure. I also get these little baggies. I get them from China. Dirt cheap. Really, really cheap. I get them from AliExpress. Yeah. The only thing you risk with AliExpress, it has never happened to me, but what you risk is that it won't show up. So, but at $5, for 1,000, I'll risk it for $5.
It's actually got a Monday. If you don't get it in 30 or 60 days, can't really eat Monday.
You're right. Yep, you're totally right. I've never had a problem with it. But are you guys members on Facebook?
How do you spell it? What is that?
Ali Express, EXPRESS.com.
I can't understand your accent.
I know. I know. But yeah.
So do you carry stock of the market?
Yep, I do. And make sure you have a bottle or 2 extra of whatever you got the sample is, because if they smell it, somebody will go, oh, I'll take that. Or maybe they'll want another scent. But yeah, I do keep 1 of each scent at least. on hand, and I usually keep 2 of whatever I'm going to sample. Are you guys, go ahead.
Do you just hand them out, or do you get details of them?
No, I draw people, and this is all coming. But I'll tell you now, we'll mess up my construction paper. What I do is, I don't just give them out freely. I always leave, if people are talking to me, I always find a way to leave something of mine with them, and also they give, in return, without realizing it, they leave something with me. And that's their information. So I usually do a draw for a free warmer or a free buddy, because when you've been a consultant for 18 months, you have some spare warmer sitting there that has been sitting on your shelf and collecting dust. So raffle that off, give it away for free. It may not be the prettiest warmer we have, but it's free, and people never knock down free. So what I usually do is when people come up to my stall, if they're just kind of having a look, first of all, I'll bring up the sample and say, oh, have you tried our washer whiffs? And they'll say, what? Then that gets me talking, that gets them talking to me. They'll say, no, I've never heard of washer whiffs, but then, oh yeah, it's your laundry, it's amazing, this is my favorite. Why don't you try a sample? Oh yeah. Oh, and we also specialize in electric candle warmers. I'm doing a draw today, and then I have my little drawing ticket, because this is very American, a drawing. And I usually say drawing, and they go, what? I say a draw, I'm doing a draw. I just have to correct myself. But these are in the Scentsy family store, and these are great. Does anybody use these? Yeah, what do you find? Do you find that they work for you?
I haven't actually done a market since I bought them. But I believe parties,
Absolutely. You get all their details. And that way it's a real clear thing. When they're filling out this form too, I always like watch them. Not creepy, not like creepy watch them. But I'll say, oh, maybe I'm creepy. You can get away with anything if you have a smile on your face. Oh, you want to join? No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. But if you can watch what they're interested in, then you can kind of gear your next, what you say to them, your conversation. Also, something sneaky that I do is, because I have this same draw box right here, I have that same one. So I'll say, oh, I'll put it in for you, and then I kind of like set it down. And after they walk away, I write on the back of it what we talked about so that I remember who they are. For example, one gal, she loved giraffes, and she was asking about a Scentsy Buddy giraffe, and I said, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, but you missed the boat on that one. We had those about a year ago. Anyways, so I just wrote down on the back of her draw ticket, loves giraffes. So when I called her to follow up, I said, oh, hey, and she's like, oh, I can't believe you're remembering me. I'm like, I totally remember you. You're the one who loves giraffes. And she's like, oh my gosh. So there's little ways to cheat a little bit, but it does, and because I wrote down that thing about her, I can see her face in my head. Like I do remember her because of what I wrote down. So I always say, oh, exactly. And she is, we're having a coffee date next week so that we can, she wants to book a party. So we booked it for we booked the coffee date for next Tuesday. I'm going to give her a hostess packet and all that. But because I was able to build that rapport with her, which you can do at a market, and I met her at the Health and Harmony Expo, which is like, they have a bunch of psychics and mediums and tarot card readings and crystals. I booked a Scentsy stall, which does not fit in, but I did really well. So once again, think outside the box.
Can I add, Jamie?
Absolutely, anytime.
It's when you do that on the back, because that's such a good point to do, write something about them. When you contact them, whether it's a text or a phone call, keep track of that on the same form.
Yes.
And then every time I pick that up, so I'm not double handling everything, I'm like, okay, I know that's the lady that has a little girl and she loves giraffes.
Yes.
But I also know that I spoke to her on the 10th, and I also, was going to follow up with her in a week or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I write on the back. What I write on the top, actually, is I write Health and Harmony Expo, so that I know where I met her, and then I have somewhere scribbled on there what I wrote really fast, like at the market. But yeah, I keep track of, left a message or texted or emailed or whatever that I've done to contact them, because it's a proven fact in the Scentsy world that you have to contact somebody 5 to 8 times to get them truly interested in buying, hosting, or joining. And that's from Becca Levi. I don't know if you've ever watched Becca Levi, but 5 to 8 times on average. So don't give up after 1 or 2 times of an unanswered phone call or leaving a voicemail. try texting them, try emailing them. But once you've done 8 times, you know that they're
Leave them alone.
either, what's that?
Leave them alone, you now look creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be creepy.
I have a different excuse to call each other.
Yeah.
I've had, well, it's only happened to me once where, you know, I sent like a group text just letting you know I'm going to be putting an order in, you know, I think it might have been when it was the 10% off or something like that. This lady texted me back and she said, can you take me off your contact list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get the hint.
Yeah, totally. But
Yeah.
see, you'd rather her do that than waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that. And
And
I'd
she
say,
gets
yeah,
annoyed
thank you
when
very
you
much.
Yeah, I did one for that as well, similar. I sent for that 10% when we had 30 messages and I never got a reply from anyone. Not even one reply back from 30 messages.
But texts are pretty impersonal. Nothing beats a phone call.
Absolutely. Yep. And I leave voicemails every time. I know they listen to them. You know, eventually, even if you're like me and listen to your messages like a week later, they're still hearing it. So yeah, absolutely, phone calls are the best. So, and if after 3 phone calls, maybe then try a text, you know, and then, because maybe that's their, especially with younger people, they prefer text, some of them. So you just have to find out what their preferred communication choice is. So, but I always call first, always. Okay, so going along with what we were just talking about, don't be awkward. Now, why do you think that would be so important? I have a really funny story about somebody that was so awkward. Okay, so I went to a market just as a customer. I wasn't doing Scentsy. There was actually the Scentsy stall there, and I met her and saw her and passed me down. Anyways, so I went to this market, and this lady, okay, so she's at her table, and I'm going up, and I'm looking. How do you think I felt? This is what she was doing to me. I said, oh, so you sell this. I'm not going to say what company it was. Oh, so you sell this. Yep. So what does it do? Oh, some weight loss kind of things. I mean, vitamins and okay, like I just kept moving because I didn't know what to do, like, because I've been on the other side and I know sometimes it's hard to like figure out what to say to people, but she was just pure awkward. So don't be that awkward person. If somebody's looking at your stall, even if it's a warmer that you hate, if they're looking at, say, you know what, that is one of my best sellers, don't lie. Just find something positive about the product. Like for example, one of my, no offense to anybody who likes it, we're all consultants so I can say it, but I sell a lot of vanilla suede and I don't really like it. No offense if you do, because there's lots of different scents, but so I always say to people who choose that is one of my best selling scents. So many people buy that scent. So find something positive about it. Anyways, so find something positive about the product that they're looking at. If they're looking at your sample, say they're free, take one. You know, just try to put yourself on their side. Maybe even do a little bit of market research yourself and go to a market, scope it out, see what the stall holders there do that make you feel comfortable or that make you feel uncomfortable, and take little mental notes. Because let me tell you, when I went to that market, I was taking mental notes, and that girl at that stall, like, I felt bad for her, but at the same time I was like, you're never going to sell any of your product if you're going to be that awkward and not talk to people. So yeah, and I did feel bad for her, but really, like, you're not going to sell anything, you're not going to draw in people to those parties or buy or anything like that.
I'll practice it when I'm
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
She'll have a
then
Scentsy
Carlos, stand back.
diamonds practice station right here.